Here you can see the database, the main primary database. In here is a replica. This RDS server is installed in AWS. So uh, this database can be accessed from one of the Windows machine. For that, also we do have the self-hosted integration runtime agent is installed in this machine. uh, so that is accessed using RDP from my system, uh, using remote desktop protocol application. So here when I check the table has these informations. um, so far we do have around 15 records. We can check total number of records available is 15. Let me just, I'm trying to show how CDCs can be executed. So basically the configurations to enable the CDC has all been set. So let me just try to um, try to insert few records. Let me try to name it my date edit. Let me try now. It's let me try to add few informations like where Wednesday, something like this. So let me, the ID is a unique identifier, so it will be default. So I'm just trying to insert the value for that ID. What happened, maybe it doesn't allow me to do so. Okay, so because of the varchar type data type, that's fine. So I'm able to insert the record here in the database. Let me try to see total number of records now. It has the latest record I have added is this record. Let me try to look into the CDC information. The CDC informations can be seen here. So this is the latest record I have just recently added, which has a name WTN and ID is the unique identifier is automatically generated, and it has start allocation and start allocation values. This one. So for this, once I let me insert again. Let me insert WD and AAAA. Let me try to add this one and let me try to check the records. Number of records I have 17. This is the record, and let me try to check the CDC records, the logs, the database logs. So this is the latest record, so it has a allocation. So let me take a look at the Azure Data Factory. So Azure Data Factory itself has the integration runtime, which is the self-hosted. This is connecting to the one of the Amazon machine that I have shown here as this instance. And this integration runtime, I do have a pipeline. So this pipeline have a lookup activity which will just try to see if there is any changes in the table or not. It just try to pick up the count. So it will just try to count the number of records. So it has the changes records only, like without the initial informations. So there are 3 records initially in the table, which was the historical table, but the 14th of them were the changes record for the day. So I'm just passing every for all the today's record. That's why it's giving me all all 14 records. So now here I do have a condition. So the condition here, it has, if there is any record changes, for example, if there is any no changes, if there is any no changes in the current window time frame, there is nothing changed, latest rated record change, then it will give me false. If not, it will give me true. If then it means if there is any record changes, and in that table, which is this one, for that allocation value, so it means the latest. If I'm in this location, this will give me the few record numbers, the count. For example, 3. If I'm in this location, it will give me 1, but if I'm after this one, then it will give me nothing. So if it is true, then it will go to the copy activity. The copy activity has a source as a the query, which will give me all the records that has the activities. This query and the earlier count query is the same, but it just give me all the records, but the earlier one just count the number of records, the changes records. So this query is exactly this one, which is giving me all the changes, but I will filter them with these allocation values. So for that allocation, I will show how it works. So this means once it will, so it means it will grab latest records only and then pass it to the sink, which is the ADLS. Now let me take a look at. So it means now as a next step, what we'll do once we copy the data, then if it succeed, if there is any data, it will only copy. If there is no any data, this activity will not be run. So if this activity will run, next step is to try on to run the notebook to process the data. But now I'm up to here. But next thing, I want to show how this is working. So I do have, for this one, I have to have a trigger. This is a tumbling window trigger. The tumbling window trigger will be non-overlapping windowing times. So for example, if it started at 7:44 p.m., every 5 minutes, UTC 7:44, every 5 minutes, then there will be no non-overlapping timing windows. It will be triggered and then, so I do have two parameters passed. So the parameters are I'm using output window start time, so it means tumbling window start time and tumbling window end time. So it means every consecutive timings of the triggers will be the unique times every 5 minutes. So that time will be taken as a parameter. So this is a default value, but those parameters will be taken as a unique values. And now we can see those trigger time. The trigger time would is passed as a parameters. Those parameters into our query, so that I will try to query when I'm trying to query the CDC changes from my table. I'll pass the from allocation into allocation. From allocation is the starting time, to allocation is the end time. So the triggering start time is the from allocation, and triggering end time is the to allocation. So it means every time the to allocation is the current time usually. So it means if I was up to here, this position, if a few records have been changed, from allocation will be this point and to allocation will be the current time. If I was in this position, from allocation will be this point, but anything like the current time will be this one. So it means now it will try to query the data, and now it will just try to, if there is any records, so it means it will give me the count of records. So for example, let me try to show by triggering. It is triggered at 7:29. It's 7:32, 29, 30, 31, 32. there, like by 14. So it will next triggered on 34 every 5 minutes, because that is the minimum tumbling window we have available in our ADF. So my containers has the two changes earlier. So let me take a look at the very first one. What it was, first trigger, it was the output from the first trigger. The first trigger has this record, because I had only one changes in that 5 minutes interval. And later one, during our demonstration, I had this file. So it means I had just inserted these two information, two records, WDN and AAA names. So let's try to see what will be resulted in our next run. So it just 1 minute to pass on. Let's see another trigger, because there is no any changes in that duration time, so it should not result any files. That is the expectation. 29, just 1 minute, then it will start running. It will, the tumbling window, another tumbling window will be triggered. .34. Now we should see some another pipeline triggered. So this pipeline is running. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so the lookup is finished and is trying to check the condition, if it's passed or not. The condition will be, let's see how it goes. Okay, so condition is passed. Let me see if there is any file created. No file created. So for the next demo, let's try to add few records and see on the next run it will try to add informations. For example, the new name is added during that 5 minutes, which is John. What happened? Okay, so anyway, there's some characters. So I have added new information, new records in our table. So let's see, the records is appeared. Okay, so the latest record is a zone. It is inserted 2 times. Zone is inserted 2 times. So let's try to see these 2 inserted records should be reflected. Even we can add or delete or update these records, but for now let's just try to see the insertion operations. So now we will see when will be the next run. It's out here, it triggered in 34, 5:39, so it will be triggered in next 3 minutes. Next 3 minutes, let's try to check the records. Let's try to update the table. Then let me try to do it from main table, main db, because replica db is just a read only. It doesn't allow me to change anything. This is master, this is my db, and this is my table. So let me try to open this one, update to, let me try to update my table id as no need to add id. set name to something like, change the name to Julie, where name equals to JOHN. Let me try to modify that as well. What happened? Set. Okay, so this is also another operation. Let me try to see over the activities. So this is the fourth operation, which is the name is changed to Julie. So this and this should be appeared there. As time passes by, so we do have 1 minute left. Let's go to ADF, try to see. It will be triggered in 1 minute. We'll see the file, how the informations look like. If there is, like, the good thing is, if there is no activities in the database, no copy activity or no Databricks activities, that's a good thing. It will save our resources. So it's 39. Now it should be running in few seconds. Okay, it started. This time we do have a data. Okay, so it's checking the condition if there is any data available or not. For this case, it should be definitely. Okay, so it's copied. Let's check the latest record, which is a 39. Let's check this latest record. Let me download this file. It should have 4 transactions. The first 2 were insertion for the John, and the updates happened for the Julie. Update happened to Julie. Okay, so these actions will be filtered out and applied to the delta tables. This is the next step. That's all.